Hello, let's start the PMDG 737 to 800 step by step. First, go to the lower head panel and switch on the battery. Then switch the main power to standby. Now open the FMC. Go to the FS action page and connect the ground power. Once the power is connected, switch on the ground power button on the overhead lower panel. Now we will add fuel through FMC page. Go to fuel and add desired fuel quantity. I will add a number just to show an example. Just type the desired quantity and add it next to the fuel bar. After adding the fuel, now we will go to the main page and again go to FS action, display, and on the last page we will check or turn the fuel quantity into kgs. Now we will go to the virtual cockpit and switch the fuel flow to reset. Now it's time to switch on your IRS. We will head over to the lower head panel and switch both of the IRS switches to NAV. An align indication will occur on both of the LED panels. A for aligning, go to the FMC, go to position initialization. Now you will see reference airport column. Here you will enter the airport ID like I am doing, typing OPKC and entering to the airport reference bar. Then you will enter the gate number. Last you will copy the subordinate and paste it to the small boxes bar. Now I will enter the route. My origin will be OPC and my destination airport will be OPT. You can add any flight number since it's just a sim, not a real aircraft. Now we will switch the VOR1 and VOR2 switches and set the baro to HPA. Now it's time to switch on the APU, switch on the left fuel pump and then APU switch to on. Wait for the meter to increase up to 8 EGT and low oil pressure indication might come. Since there is a bug, so sometimes the low pressure indication might not go away, so just relax, it will go away once the engine gets started and ground power are disconnected. Now we will set the flight altitude to desired range. Then we will turn on the APU generators right and left side. The windows heats to turn on both of the sides. Emergency lights to armed. Now the APU bleed switch to on and isolation valve to auto. It's time to prepare yourself to start the engine. We will open all fuel pumps. Before starting we can set our autopilot parameter, but it has no relation with engine startup. This a method how I usually do. Since everything is set, push the engine button so that you have display about the engines. First let's start the engine 2, switch the engine knob to ground and check when N1 reaches 22%, switch on the engine 2 valve. Once the engine stabilizes, the ignition switch will automatically goes to off. Similar procedure is for the engine 1. Now it's time to check the TCAS system.
TCAS test. Pass.
Final checks before taxing pushback will be resetting trim stabilizer, flaps to 1 degree and releasing the parking brakes. At last we will cut off the ground power, close the APU bleed and uplift, and move the engine ignition switches to continue once as I said you close the APU so the low pressure sign would extinguish.
And ground, cockpit.
Go ahead, Captain.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Right in there, ready for push. Power here, clear doors closed, we are ready for pushback.